Appreciate the gift of a new day. Every morning, the universe performs a miracle so ordinary that most of us stop noticing it. The sky, once cloaked in the silence of night, blushes with the first light of dawn. The earth breathes anew. The birds sing their timeless song. And in that sacred moment, as the darkness surrenders to light, the Creator whispers into your soul, "Here is another chance, another sunrise, another heartbeat, another page in the story of your life." Yet how often do we wake with gratitude in our chests? How often do we stop to realize the magnitude of what we've been given? Most of us arise with the weight of yesterday still heavy on our shoulders, chasing the next task, the next goal, the next distraction, forgetting that the very breath in our lungs is a blessing countless souls would give anything to have again. You see, the greatest gift you receive is not wealth, not status, not opportunity. It's not the home you live in or the career you chase. The greatest gift you receive again and again is the present moment, the new day, the chance to begin again. And it is given to you not because you earned it, but because God, in His infinite mercy, decided your story is not finished yet. Think about that. Right now, as you listen to these words, thousands of people are taking their last breaths. Their stories are ending. Their dreams will go unfinished. Their hands will never again rise to the sky in prayer. But you have been chosen to wake up, chosen to rise, chosen to breathe, move, love, build, grow, and change. And that is not an accident. Every new dawn is an invitation, a divine reminder that no matter how many mistakes you made yesterday, today is a blank page. No matter how far you fell, you can rise. No matter how heavy the burden, you can lay it down and start again. The past cannot be undone, but the future is unwritten. And this day, this very moment, is your pen. But here's the truth few want to face. The gift of a new day is not guaranteed. It's not promised. It's not owed to you. And yet, we act as if it is. We sleepwalk through our mornings, scrolling through screens instead of bowing our heads in gratitude. We complain about what we lack instead of marveling at what we have. We treat time as though it's infinite, when, in reality, it's the most fragile thing we will ever touch. The greatest tragedy is not death itself. It's living as if we will never die. It's waking up each day without truly waking up. It's receiving the gift of another sunrise and never saying thank you. If you truly understood the weight of this blessing, you would treat each morning as holy. You would rise not with boredom, but with reverence. You would whisper a prayer of thanks before your feet touch the floor. You would step into the day with a fire in your chest and a purpose in your stride, because you'd know that this day, like all days, is a once-in-a-lifetime event. It will never come again. Thomas Edison once said, "Opportunity is missed by most people because it is dressed in overalls and looks like work." But I tell you, opportunity is also missed because it is disguised as an ordinary morning. It arrives quietly, without fanfare, a new dawn, a beating heart, a chance to choose differently. And most people, blinded by routine, walk right past it. But not you. Not anymore. From this day forward, you must promise yourself you will not waste the gift. You will not sleepwalk through the hours. You will not live as though time is infinite. Because the truth is, every sunrise is a countdown. Every day brings you closer to the moment when you will stand before the one who created you and account for how you used the time he gave you.
So how will you use this day? Will you spend it complaining about what's missing? Or will you build with what you have? Will you replay yesterday's regrets? Or will you create tomorrow's victories? Will you chase meaningless distractions? Or will you pursue the mission your soul was created for? This is not just another morning. It's a divine reset, a sacred opportunity, a whisper from heaven itself. I have given you one more chance. What will you do with it?
The clock is ticking. The sun is rising higher. And with each passing moment, the question becomes louder. What will you do with the time you've been given? Most people squander it. They treat today like a cheap commodity, trading it for gossip, distractions, regrets, and fears. They let their minds dwell on the mistakes of yesterday or the uncertainties of tomorrow. And in doing so, they miss the only thing that is real, this very moment. The present is not just a sliver of time. It is a divine arena, a sacred battlefield where destiny is shaped, where character is forged, where lives are transformed. Every great dream, every act of courage, every story of triumph you've ever read about, it all began with someone who decided to own the day they were in. Henry Ford didn't build his empire in someday, he worked on it today. Walt Disney didn't sketch his dreams on the vague horizon of the future, he drew them today. And every prophet, reformer, inventor, and visionary who changed the course of humanity did so by mastering the power of now. You see, the Creator did not give you control over the past. It is gone. And He did not give you ownership of the future. It is not yet yours. What He did place in your hands is today. This sunrise, this breath, this heartbeat, this chance. And how you use it, how you spend it, will determine the story of your life. The problem is, too many people believe they need the perfect conditions to start. They tell themselves, I'll change when things get easier. I'll begin when I feel ready. I'll live my purpose when the time is right. But the time will never be perfect. The right moment will never come. And every sunrise you waste waiting is a sunrise you will never get back. The truth is, the only time you ever truly have is now. And the only way to honor the gift of a new day is to step boldly into it, with faith, with courage, with gratitude, and with relentless action. Gratitude, that is the key that unlocks the door to transformation. When you start the day by thanking God for it, you shift your entire perspective. You stop seeing time as something to be spent and start seeing it as something to be invested. You stop focusing on what you lack and start building with what you have. You stop living reactively and start living intentionally. Try this. Before you reach for your phone, before you check your messages, before you let the world's noise invade your mind, pause, close your eyes, breathe deeply, and whisper a simple prayer. Thank you, God, for this day. Thank you for another chance to become who I'm meant to be. It's a simple act, but it changes everything, because gratitude is not just a feeling, it's a lens. It allows you to see opportunities where others see obstacles. It reveals blessings where others see burdens. It gives you strength when circumstances are hard and humility when success arrives. When Thomas Edison failed 1,000 times before perfecting the light bulb, he didn't see failure, he saw lessons. When Abraham Lincoln lost election after election before becoming president, he didn't see defeat, he saw preparation. And every prophet, reformer, inventor, and visionary who changed the course of humanity did so by mastering the power of now. What made them different? They did not curse the challenges of the day, they embraced them. They did not resent the present moment, they used it. They did not complain about what they lacked, they thanked God for what they had and built from there. And you must do the same. Every morning is not just another square on a calendar, it's a divine assignment. It carries within it opportunities you cannot yet see,
blessings you have not yet unwrapped, and lessons that will shape your soul. But only if you choose to step into it with gratitude and purpose. Do not underestimate the power of a single day. Empires have been built in one decision. Lives have been transformed in one moment. Hearts have been healed in one act of kindness. The course of eternity has been changed by one person who said, "Today, I will do something different." Today could be that day. The day you stop waiting and start building. The day you stop complaining and start creating. The day you stop fearing the future and start trusting the one who holds it. And once you understand that, once you see each morning not as a routine but as a divine gift, you will never live passively again. You will wake up with intention. You will walk with purpose. You will act with courage. And you will look back one day and realize that greatness was not achieved in leaps. It was built one new day at a time.
Gratitude opens your eyes. Purpose ignites your soul. But there is one more ingredient, one that turns intention into impact, dreams into reality, and a new day into a new destiny. That ingredient is discipline. Discipline is the bridge between what you desire and what you become. It is the difference between those who simply wake up and those who rise. And it is how you prove to the Creator that you value the time He's given you, not just with words of thanks, but with actions that honor the gift. Think of the rising sun. It appears every single morning without fail, not because it's convenient, not because it's easy, but because that is its purpose. In the same way, those who live extraordinary lives show up every single day, whether they feel like it or not. They rise even when their bodies are tired. They act even when their motivation is low. They keep moving forward, not because it's easy, but because they understand that consistency is the language of greatness. The truth is, discipline is not glamorous. It's not exciting. It doesn't always feel good, but it is sacred. Because every small action you repeat daily, every early morning, every quiet hour of work, every choice to grow instead of quit, is an act of worship. It is your way of saying, "God, I am grateful for this day, and I refuse to waste it." When the Creator blesses you with another sunrise, He is giving you a chance to write a new page in the book of your life. Discipline is how you make that page worth reading. Look at the greatest builders of history, the inventors, the reformers, the visionaries. They were not necessarily the smartest, the strongest, or the most gifted, but they were relentless. Thomas Edison worked tirelessly through thousands of failures before the light bulb shone. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison, rising every day with hope and purpose. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, spent 23 years spreading the message of truth, facing rejection, persecution, and struggle. Yet never once did he stop showing up for the mission he was sent to fulfill. Why? Because they understood a timeless truth. A single day of effort may seem small, but many days of effort can change the world. And so can yours. If you truly appreciate the gift of a new day, you will stop treating it casually. You will stop wasting hours on distractions that don't serve your purpose. You will stop letting fear dictate your decisions and procrastination steal your potential. Instead, you will guard your time as the priceless treasure it is. Every morning, ask yourself, if this were the last sunrise I'd ever see, how would I live today? Would you scroll endlessly through your phone, or would you pick up the book that could change your perspective? Would you complain about your problems, or would you take the first step toward solving them? Would you dwell on the past, or would you build the future? Time is the currency of life, and every day you wake up, God deposits 24 hours into your account. You can waste it, spend it, or invest it.
But once it's gone forever. The people who rise to greatness are not those who have more time. They are those who use their time differently. They wake up before the world does, not because they have to, but because they choose to. They dedicate time to learning, growing, and serving. They replace excuses with execution. And when they fall, because we all fall, they rise again the next morning and try once more. Because discipline is not about perfection, it's about persistence. The truth is, your life is not defined by a single moment of brilliance. It's defined by thousands of small, disciplined choices, the ones no one sees, no one applauds, and no one remembers. But together, they form the foundation of greatness. And this is the challenge for you. When the alarm rings tomorrow morning, will you treat it as an annoyance or as a divine invitation? Will you hit snooze and waste the miracle, or will you rise with purpose and seize the gift? The discipline to rise early, the discipline to speak truth, the discipline to take action when fear whispers not yet. These are the daily victories that compound into extraordinary lives. And every single one of them begins the same way, with a new day and a heart determined to use it well.
Even with gratitude in your heart and discipline in your habits, life will still test you. It will push you to your knees. It will hand you setbacks that feel unfair and storms that seem endless. And in those moments, you will be tempted to believe the lie that a new day means nothing, that the gift has lost its value because the road is too hard. But here is the truth. The gift of a new day is never wasted, especially in hardship. In fact, the greatest power of each sunrise is not that it gives you another chance to succeed, but that it gives you another chance to rise. Resilience is the art of rising, again and again, no matter how many times you fall. It is the stubborn refusal to give up, even when the night has been long and the wounds are deep. And it is the way you show gratitude to the one who gave you breath, by refusing to let that breath be spent in surrender. History remembers the resilient, the ones who fell 100 times and stood 101, the ones who turned rejection into fuel, heartbreak into wisdom, and failure into the foundation of their greatest victories. Abraham Lincoln lost more elections than most people ever run for, yet he changed a nation. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before lighting the world, and Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam was thrown into a well by his own brothers, sold into slavery, and imprisoned unjustly, yet he rose to lead a kingdom with grace and forgiveness. What kept them going? They understood that every sunrise is a message. You are not finished yet. And that's the same message whispered to you every morning. No matter how dark your night has been, the dawn still comes. No matter how heavy the burden, your heart still beats. No matter how many doors closed yesterday, today you stand before 1,000 more, but only if you choose to rise and knock again. This is where faith meets resilience, because resilience is not simply human strength, it is divine trust. It is the unwavering belief that God does not make mistakes, that every obstacle is part of a plan, and that every delay is preparing you for something greater. When you understand that, even your setbacks become sacred. They are not punishments, they are preparations. So when the world tells you it's over, tell yourself it's just the beginning. When your dream shatters into pieces, pick up one shard and start building again. When you feel like you've lost everything, remember, if you still have breath, you still have purpose. Every sunrise is proof that darkness cannot last forever, and every new day is an invitation to rewrite the story you thought was over. Resilience is not about never falling. It's about refusing to stay down. It's about standing up with tears in your eyes and saying, God, I don't know how, but I trust that you will make a way. It's about walking forward with shaking legs and a steady heart, knowing that He did not bring you this far to abandon you. And here's the beautiful thing. Resilience compounds. Every time you rise, you grow stronger. Every time you endure, your faith deepens. Every time you refuse to quit, your destiny sharpens. And one day, you will look back on the mountains you climbed, the storms you survived, and the battles you won, and you will realize that every scar was a sign of strength, every detour was part of the design, and every new day was a stepping stone to where you were meant to be. The Creator did not give you a new day so you could be crushed by the weight of yesterday. He gave it to you so you could prove that nothing, not failure, not heartbreak, not fear, can stop the soul that chooses to rise. So rise. Rise again. Rise when no one believes in you. Rise when you feel alone. Rise when the odds are against you. Rise even if you must crawl, because every inch forward is an act of defiance against despair and an act of worship toward the one who gave you another sunrise. Remember this. The sun does not stop rising because the night was long, and neither should you.
Gratitude awakens the heart. Discipline builds the foundation. Resilience keeps you standing. But without purpose, even the brightest morning will feel meaningless. Because the truth is, a new day is only as powerful as the mission you attach to it. Purpose is the compass that gives direction to your effort. It is the why behind your struggle, the fuel beneath your discipline, the light that makes even the darkest valleys worth walking through. Without it, you will wander, busy but not productive, active but not impactful, alive but not truly living. Every sunrise asks you a silent question. Why are you here? Not why you exist biologically, but why you were chosen out of billions to breathe, to walk, to dream, to act. Because you were not created randomly. You were designed with precision. You were crafted with intent. The Creator placed you on this earth with talents no one else has, experiences no one else has lived, and a story no one else can write. And if you do not know your purpose, you will waste the gift of each day chasing things that do not matter. Look around. Most people are busy. They run from task to task, from distraction to distraction. They work jobs they hate to buy things they don't need, to impress people they don't even like. They fill their days with noise, yet wonder why their souls still feel empty. The reason is simple. Activity is not purpose. Motion is not meaning. A full schedule is not a fulfilled life. Purpose is something deeper. It's the thing that when you do it, time disappears. It's the thing that makes you come alive. It's the cause you would fight for, even if you knew you might lose. And here's the beautiful truth. Your purpose is not always grand or global. It doesn't always require fame or fortune. Sometimes purpose is raising a family with love and integrity. Sometimes it's building a business that serves humanity. Sometimes it's speaking truth in a world addicted to lies. And sometimes it's simply being a light, a source of kindness and faith in a place where darkness has ruled for too long. Whatever your purpose is, it is sacred, because it is the reason God gives you another day. The sunrise is not random. It is a reminder that your mission is not yet complete. The breath in your lungs is not just biology. It is divine permission to continue the work you were created for. And the time you are given is not infinite. It is the opportunity to serve, build, love, and leave a legacy before the final sunset arrives. History remembers the purposeful. It remembers Martin Luther King Jr., who marched not for recognition, but for justice. It remembers Mother Teresa, who devoted her days not to comfort, but to compassion.
It remembers the prophets who endured unimaginable trials, not for fame, but for truth. Their lives were not easy, but they were meaningful. Because they did not wake up to pass the time, they woke up to change the time they were given. Ask yourself honestly, when you wake up tomorrow, will you live by design or by default? Will you let the hours slip through your fingers like sand, or will you shape them into something eternal? Will you chase what's urgent or pursue what's important? The difference between an ordinary day and a legendary one is not the sun in the sky. It's the purpose in your soul. And here's the secret. Once you align your days with your purpose, discipline becomes easier, resilience becomes natural, and gratitude becomes constant. Because now you're not just living, you're fulfilling. You're not just existing, you're contributing. You're not just passing time, you're making time count. Purpose transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. It turns a simple morning into a sacred mission. And it transforms the question from what will I do today to how will I serve today? How will I grow today? How will I honor the gift I've been given? When you wake up tomorrow, don't just open your eyes. Open your heart. Open your mind. Open your soul to the mission that calls you, and then chase it with everything you have. Because every sunrise brings you one day closer to the finish line. One day closer to the moment you will stand before the one who gave you life and answer for how you lived it. Let your answer be this: I used every day well. I did not waste the time you gave me. I loved deeply, I served faithfully, I built boldly, and I never took a single sunrise for granted.
There is a reason your heart longs for something greater. There is a reason you feel a quiet restlessness deep within, a whisper that there must be more to life than simply waking, working, sleeping, and repeating. That whisper is not random. It is not a distraction. It is a divine signal, a reminder that you were created on purpose for a purpose. Every soul that walks this earth was designed with intention. Before you took your first breath, the Almighty already wrote the blueprint of your existence. He placed within you gifts, talents, desires, and burdens not to torment you, but to guide you toward the mission you were meant to fulfill. And the greatest tragedy is not that a man dies young, but that he dies never truly living, never discovering why he was born at all. A new day is not just another date on the calendar. It is an open page in the book of your destiny. And the question is not whether that page will be written. The question is what story you will write with it. Too many live their lives drifting, chasing distractions, obeying routines, reacting to circumstances. But those who awaken, truly awaken, are the ones who realize that every sunrise is a sacred opportunity to take one more step toward the calling etched on their soul. They do not simply live by default, they live by design. Think of the great builders of history. Ibrahim alayhi salam walked into fire for the vision he held. Musa alayhi salam stood before the might of Pharaoh armed with nothing but faith. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam transformed the darkest corners of ignorance into a civilization of light because he knew why he was sent. And even in the secular world, visionaries like Walt Disney, who imagined worlds before they existed, or Martin Luther King Jr., who spoke of a dream the world could not yet see, they all shared one thing in common. They were driven by a purpose larger than themselves. And you, yes, you, are no different. There is a reason you survived everything you did. There is a reason you are alive today. There is a mission that only your hands can fulfill, a light that only your voice can shine, a difference that only your life can make.
And until you align your days with that mission, no wealth will satisfy you, no achievement will complete you, and no applause will quiet the ache of an unlived purpose. The sunrise is not simply nature's routine, it is God's daily invitation. Will you walk the path I created for you today? Every breath you take is a question. Will you use this moment for what truly matters? And every beat of your heart is a reminder. Time is a gift, but it is also a responsibility. To appreciate the gift of a new day is to align it with something eternal. It is to wake not just to exist, but to serve. It is to dream not just of comfort, but of contribution. It is to build not just for yourself, but for the generations who will walk the roads you paved. Because the truth is, this world is temporary, but the impact of a life lived with purpose echoes beyond time. So ask yourself, not once in a lifetime, but every morning, what is the highest use of my life today? What words can I speak that will heal? What actions can I take that will uplift? What seeds can I plant that will blossom long after I am gone? For when your vision is rooted in divine purpose, every sunrise becomes sacred. Ordinary days become extraordinary missions. Simple moments become eternal legacies. And even the smallest act, a kind word, a helping hand, a courageous decision, becomes a brick in the monument of your destiny. Do not wait for perfect conditions. Do not wait for permission. The sunrise is already your permission. The breath in your lungs is already your calling. The gift of a new day is already your assignment. A chance to walk boldly in the direction of the purpose God placed in your heart. And if you ever doubt the path, remember this: the one who gave you the vision will also give you the provision. The one who called you will also carry you. Your job is not to see the whole staircase. It is to take the first step, with faith as your map and gratitude as your fuel.
There is a profound truth hidden in every sunrise, a truth that liberates the soul once it is understood. You are responsible for effort, but not for outcome. You are called to act with excellence, but you are never in control of the harvest. That power belongs only to the one who commands the sun to rise and the heart to beat. We live in a world obsessed with results. We measure our worth by achievements, our happiness by outcomes, our peace by what we possess. And yet the deepest peace, the kind that anchors you through storms, is not born from control. It is born from surrender. Surrender is not weakness. It is not laziness. It is the highest form of strength, the strength to do everything in your power and then release what is beyond it into the hands of God. It is planting the seed with care, watering it with discipline, and then trusting the rain and the seasons to do what only they can. It is showing up every single day, working, learning, striving, while knowing that the final result is shaped by a wisdom far greater than yours. Every prophet, every visionary, every soul that left an immortal legacy understood this balance. Nuh alayhi salam built an ark when the skies were clear. Musa alayhi salam raised his staff against a sea that logic said would never part. Maryam alayhi salam shook the trunk of a palm tree though her strength was gone, and dates rained down by the will of Allah. They did their part with unwavering effort, and then they surrendered the rest to the Lord of all things. This is the secret to living each new day with power and peace. Strive like everything depends on you, and trust like everything depends on Him, because it does. Once you understand this, anxiety loses its grip. You stop being paralyzed by fear of failure because you realize that outcomes were never yours to control in the first place. You stop comparing your journey to others because you know that every soul's path unfolds according to a divine timetable. You stop chasing validation because you realize that the only approval that truly matters is from the one who gifted you this day to begin with. And this is where the real beauty of life unfolds. When you no longer obsess over when and how, you free yourself to focus on what and why. You pour your energy into being the best version of yourself, into showing up with excellence, integrity, and intention, and you leave the results to the one who sees the full picture. It is here, in this sacred balance, that miracles happen. It is here that doors you never knocked on swing open. It is here that paths you never planned become the very roads to your destiny. Because the universe bends for the one who walks with both relentless effort and unshakable trust. And even when things don't go your way, even when prayers seem unanswered and dreams are delayed, you begin to see those moments not as rejections, but as redirections. You begin to understand that sometimes a closed door is God's mercy. Sometimes a setback is His protection, and sometimes a delay is His preparation for something far greater than what you asked for. So, when you wake tomorrow and the new day greets you with uncertainty, don't shrink back. Don't freeze in fear of the unknown. Step forward boldly. Work with all your heart. Speak goodness. Build with purpose. Give with sincerity. And then, let go. Release the weight of outcomes you cannot control. Trust that if you plant with faith, something beautiful will bloom. Maybe not today, maybe not in the way you imagined, but always in the way that's best for you. Remember, the sunrise is not your doing. The breath in your lungs is not your achievement. Both are gifts, signs that the same power that orchestrates galaxies is guiding your steps. And if He can paint the sky anew every morning, He can certainly write your story in ways more breathtaking than you could ever plan. So live each day with hands busy and hearts surrendered. Strive with strength, trust with serenity. For the gift of a new day is not just an invitation to act, it is an invitation to believe.
And so, here you are, standing at the edge of another sunrise, another page unwritten, another breath gifted, another chance to become the person you were always meant to be. The question is no longer whether this day matters. It does. The question is, what will you do with it? Every sunrise you've ever witnessed was not just a spectacle in the sky. It was a sacred invitation, a reminder that your story is still being written, that you still have choices to make, seeds to plant, people to love, dreams to chase, prayers to whisper, and legacies to leave behind. The dawn is heaven's way of saying, I still believe in you. But belief alone is not enough. Life is not measured by how many days we are given, but by how many of those days we truly live. And to live is not merely to exist. It is to choose meaning over comfort, purpose over pleasure, legacy over laziness, faith over fear. Somewhere deep within your soul, you already know this. You know that the clock is ticking, that every sunrise is one less you'll see. You know that this life is not a rehearsal, not a warm-up, not a waiting room for someday. This is it. This is the canvas upon which your eternity is painted. And every choice you make, every word you speak, every act of kindness you offer, every ounce of effort you pour into becoming better is a brushstroke on that canvas. The great paradox of life is this: the more you live for yourself, the smaller your life becomes. But the more you live for something beyond yourself, for God, for love, for service, for truth, the larger your life expands, until even your smallest actions ripple across generations. Do not wait for the perfect moment. It does not exist. Do not wait for certainty. Faith is the courage to walk into the unknown. Do not wait until you feel ready. Ready is a decision, not a condition. And do not wait until tomorrow, because tomorrow is never guaranteed, and someday is the thief of every great dream. Start today. Speak the words you've been holding back. Forgive the person you've been resenting. Take the first step toward the vision you've been delaying. Pray like everything depends on God, and act like everything depends on you. Because everything, your growth, your joy, your legacy, depends on what you choose to do with this one sacred day. And when doubts whisper that you're too small to make a difference, remember this: the sun itself is nothing but a ball of fire, yet it warms worlds, stirs oceans, and brings life to everything it touches. In the same way, a single act of courage, a single spark of faith, a single new beginning can ignite a transformation far beyond what you imagine. There will come a day, not too far from now, when the sunrise will rise without you, when your time here will have ended and your story will have been written. On that day, the only thing that will matter is what you did with the mornings you were given. Did you waste them scrolling and doubting, or did you rise and build? Did you live afraid of failing, or did you dare to become everything God created you to be? Did you spend your days chasing what fades, or did you invest them in what lasts forever? When that day comes, may you stand before your Creator with a heart at peace. Not because you were perfect, but because you tried, because you showed up, because you lived, truly lived with gratitude, with faith, with purpose, with love. So as the sun climbs higher today, do not treat it as ordinary. It is not. This sunrise will never happen again. This day will never repeat. This breath, this moment, this chance, once it's gone forever. Wake up, rise up, step into the sacredness of now. For the gift of a new day is not just the light that touches the horizon. It is the divine opportunity to touch lives, to change stories, to build legacies, and to draw closer to the one who gifted it to you. And if you do nothing else with this message, remember this truth. Carve it deep into your heart. Today is not just another day. Today is the stage upon which eternity is shaped. And how you live it is the story your soul will tell forever.